Alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayhi wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlilhu fala hadiya lahu wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu amma ba'd. A'udzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wa nazzalna alaykal kitaba tibyanan likulli shay'in wa hudan wa rahmatan wa bushra lil muslimin. Sadaqallahul azim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Sanurihim ayatina fil afaki wa fi anfusihim hatta yatabayyana lahum annahu al-haq. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidni ilma. Dear brothers and sisters, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's been 1 week since we last addressed you on our series of addresses about global events and its relationship with Islamic eschatology. We've been covering this on a weekly basis now, from Tuesday to Monday. So we go back to last Tuesday. Today is Monday, so we go back to last Tuesday. On Tuesday, August 26, there are a few headlines. Again, it seems to be dominated by ISIS, and the report states that the ISIS conflict in Syria, it has resulted in over 500 deaths. And there's also a report that goes along with it, that is reported along with it, that another US journalist, Peter Curtis, after 2 years of being in captivity, Nusra Front has released the US journalist. This is something good. This is in contrast to what we had discussed about James Foley and the brutal murder, execution, beheading of James Foley conducted by ISIS. A very shameful act. So this time, the US journalist, another US journalist, Peter Curtis, has been spared, and it's something good. But nothing is happening in and around the globe by accident or by chance. Everything is following a certain plan. Now, why suddenly this? Yes, it's a different group, Nusra Front. But basically, all these groups, whether it be ISIS, whether it be Nusra Front, whether it be Free Syrian Army, whether it be Boko Haram, etc., all of these groups have similar mindset. So what propelled Nusra Front to release their captive? According to me, and you will decide for yourself whether the analysis is correct or not, according to me, the focus has been more and more on ISIS in the last few days, if not weeks and months, and the other groups are not coming in the news as much, Nusra Front or Free Syrian Army, etc. So all of them, as I said, have similar ambitions. So Nusra Front, and they also have conflicts amongst themselves. I mean, all of them, they claim to represent Islam, and all of them, they claim to fight what they say is a legitimate fight. Obviously, we know, and you know now from all these analysis that we have been doing since the last few weeks, that this is not really true. Their claim is not really true. So they claim that they're fighting the non-Muslims and it's a legitimate jihad, which is not the case at all. And so if that be the case, then they should really have been united. But then each of them are motivated to control as much territory, region as possible. And they have internal conflicts amongst themselves. For example, ISIS versus Nusra Front, Nusra Front versus Free Syrian Army, ISIS versus Free Syrian Army, etc. If they are what they claim to do, wage a legitimate jihad, if they're doing that, which is, as we are saying again and again, it's not the case, then why is there conflicts among themselves? It's a question that they should answer. Okay, so Nusra Front, which has not been much in the news recently, wants to showcase to the world that their claim to legitimate jihad is correct, and ISIS, in fact, is an illegitimate outfit, terrorist organization. So in their claim, they have done something in contrast to what ISIS did to James Foley, and hence, strategically, they have decided to release Peter Theo Curtis. We're not condemning that. The act itself is something good, but the underlying motivations we need to understand to realize the bigger picture. This Nusra Front, by the way, is affiliated to Al-Qaeda, which, James Foley was a repeat of an earlier execution, beheading, which Al-Qaeda conducted many years back. So let us not go back into all those issues. So this is it. The two news about the ISIS, again, 500 deaths, and about the Nusra Front, which we just discussed. Besides this, Britain now seeks Imam's help in its efforts to, so to say, curb the rise of ISIS. So they are requesting the Imams to support them, and some of the Imams, they have come to support Britain by stating that they should, basically the statement is to work with the intelligence services of Britain, that is, to work with the intelligence services so that this poison does not reach our borders. Now let us analyze this statement of the Imams also. Now, as far as the second part of the statement is concerned, then let this poison not reach our borders, then I very much agree that this is a poison, and not just in Britain, the poison should be stopped from spreading to any part of the world. But the point is, it is the same group who are now beginning to use media to portray ISIS as something bad. It is the same group who have who have funded ISIS initially. It is the same intelligence services, it is the same Zionist group, whether Britain, whether America, whether Israel, who is using ISIS to further its cause. This thing needs to be understood. But the Imams will not understand that. The Imams do not have the capacity to understand that. And that is why they're making such statements. Obviously, as I said clearly, that the second part of the statement, that this is a poison and we should at all costs stop it from spreading, I agree with this. But to cooperate with the intelligence services, this could have been okay, but we need to understand that this same intelligence forces are those who are funding ISIS and giving wings to ISIS. This thing needs to be understood. But alas, as I said, in the last stage, the scholars are few and they will fail to penetrate the reality of the modern world. And this is abundantly clear from the many hadiths which the Prophet ﷺ narrated. So much for Tuesday. We move ahead with the next day's analysis.